All right. Make some posts here real quick, like. All right. Hopefully everything's working good. I am just going to dive in and get this started. I'm going to continue my work on this game called GeoLia. We were working on it yesterday. I'm just going to go ahead and start off by showing what I did. So I made some changes. I did resolve this issue that we were finding with the object globals. For some reason, the dirt was placed first, and it was loading the dirt first. So I just erased all the dirt and put the dirt in again. So then it resolved it. So now the ground can have the global variable for the block HP. So its hit points are now a global variable within my global code. Oh, I don't need that on anymore. I was doing a little testing in the debugger trying to figure out just what on earth was happening, and I was unable to tell. So I'm just going to play this and show the current build. I added a blue background and I made some changes. I updated the player character. Easiest way to see it is just to dive in here. Alright, made the player a little skinnier. He was just looking like a green Santa Claus to me. I didn't really want a green Santa Claus, so. And updated his kind of jump animations. Kind of got the speed where I wanted it to be. Like I said before, it's the difference between 60 frames per second and 30 frames per second. I'm not really a fan of the speeds in 60 frames per second. I can choose one. This is speed 1. And I feel it feels a little too slow for me. And then if I choose the speed of 2, then it feels too fast to me. That's why some of my other games were in 30 frames per second, because I could kind of cater the speed of the player that I wanted. But for now, I'm just going to go with this. I'm not going to change the game to 30 frames per second. I'm just going to keep it in 60. And I updated this, and I actually added some audio. Alright, so you can kind of see the dirt falls there, and then I added some code to where the dirt will actually fly towards me if I get close enough. Let's see, there, yeah. Just subtle, and then there's sound effects for picking up the dirt. So, that's basically where I kind of left off. I added this blue because I couldn't see on the black background. So you can kind of see, I can crush the ground here. Yeah. Cool. So currently I can run around and jump around basically and break some grass. Apparently my neighbor has decided to ride a four-wheeler. Okay. Sure. But I do want to discuss one of the most important things about game development, and that is coffee. Like, if you don't have coffee, then, like, I don't know how you can survive. Now, maybe some people drink tea. I guess I should restate that as I don't know how you could game dev without caffeine. I'm sure there's some people out there that do well with just water. My neighbor riding his four-wheeler. It's the perfect time. Oh, not the tool man. What is up, my friend? I hope that things are good. I talked to you for a long time, and here I am, rambling on once again. But like I said, coffee, very important. Alright, so I'm going to dive right into this. What I need to do is open all this stuff up and decide kind of what I want to do next, right? Like, I kind of have this set up here, and it's just super simple. And all I'm doing is just kind of making this game to have fun and be goofy. But right now I got dirt blocks, which are just kind of generating here. and I got this dirt collection item that you can collect the dirt when you break it. And within the dirt code, I just kind of have a simple setup to where if I press the left mouse button, it's breaking the block. But I feel like this player needs to actually do something. He needs to actually, you know, like do something to break the ground. Like that's kind of the next step. I also said that I updated some of these sprites so that it's kind of I guess a more normal looking person. I don't know. It is what it is. It's super pixely. And I added some effects. I actually made a smaller effect that only happens when you pick up an item. So, for instance, when you break the dirt, and then the dirt is laying like the dirt block, and the dirt is laying there, then when I go over here to pick this up, the little effect there. So effect when you break it, and effect when you pick it up. So very basic. Of course, I got the jump thing to kind of work by cheating yesterday. You can't really tell. If I changed his shoes to like a black color, you could tell, but I'm just not going to do that at this point. So, but like I said, I need to make the player do something. So I'm just trying to like brainstorm what I should have the player do. And of course, every game is like a pickaxe or something, right? Like caffeine is life, absolutely. Yeah. Even at well, it's 3 o'clock for me, but it's 6 o'clock for you, man. I don't know if I'd be drinking caffeine at that point, but maybe. I do love coffee. Coffee helps me think, and that's what I need to do right now. Like, what? I'm trying to decide if I should just like make an animation where he like breaks the wall or something simple, like just a pickaxe appears. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna draw some stuff. All right, so what I want is this is another 13 pixel square. That's kind of my go-to for this project. And I want to decide I'm deciding right now that I want to make this little guy have a pickaxe. Alright, so get all Minecrafty here and pretty much do what you gotta do, right? It's just how it has to work. Alright. No. And let's get this guy here. I wonder if I should do something other than a pickaxe, though. I wonder if I should do like a shovel, or I don't know. How's that look? Looks freaking terrible. I love it. It's perfect. That's what this game's about. And that's kind of what my game dev is about. I don't do very good. I just kind of make stuff, right? I mean, you just kind of make something. Oh, I need to add this though. All right. So, as simple as it possibly can be, when I click the left mouse button, I kind of want this to appear, and then if this appears, I kind of want it to break the block slowly. So what I'm trying to do is implement one type of block. So implement the dirt block and get all the code to work for it with the pickaxe and with the player and dropping the item and the sounds and all that. And so then once I have one of those done, then it's kind of copy-paste in some aspects, changing some global variables. So I have this cool pickaxe here, super epic and not cliche whatsoever, and I will go ahead and save this stuff here. I guess I can show you this too. It doesn't matter. Art. And I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call this player. I feel like I probably should have done this like a long time ago, considering I have the player done. So I'm going to fix that while I am here. Alright, get another window open here. Alright, so this is the player. That's my old player, so I don't even know if I need it anymore, but I'm still going to just pop him in there. And I feel also like I need another another folder called collect, because I'm going to have a lot of things that are collectible, and I need to open this up, and I have this, all this dirt collect, and this +1 is part of the dirt collect as well, because every time you collect something it says +1. Let's drag those in here. Just a little file management. Gotta love it. Got to love it. Yeah, so not the tool man. I'm sure that this is extremely exciting for you. You're like, wow, he clicked some buttons and moved some files around. How epic. So, but anyways, I'm gonna go in here and call this pickaxe and save it as a paint.net program, but then I also need to save it as a PNG. PNG is what I will put in the game. Alright, so back to the Game Maker Studio. It's one of those buttons to press. Alright, so under the player, I'm going to create a sprite. And that sprite is going to be called Sprite Pickaxe. And I'm going to import my pickaxe, which is in the player and the PNG. Alright. Yes, I understand. Alright, so now my pickaxe is within the game. I may have to come in and change some colors or something depending upon if I can see it or not. Who knows. But the collision mask is probably the most important thing. Anywhere that this collision mask touches is basically the block that's going to get broken. So I'm going to have to figure out how to how to dig down. I have to figure that out. I haven't decided that yet. This is going to be left and right. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually leave this as this square. So anything that this touches, it's in this square, is going to basically remove hit points from the block square. Alright, so I got this one, and this one's actually going to be called pickaxe right. And I keep the same thing. And I would duplicate it and do left. Alright, go in here, simple mirror. That was not what I wanted to do. Mirror. Alright, there we go. And the collision is the same. Yes, but I do want to make sure that this is middle center, I think, where it actually spawns. So go back to this pickaxe and also make this middle center. And that's where it will spawn. So what I need to do now is create an object. So under the player, because it's all kind of part of the player code, I'm going to create the object of pickaxe. Let's do left first. Why not? Do it backwards. Go to the player sprites, pick my left pickaxe, and that is all I need. I think. No, I need a. I think that I just need an alarm. So I'm going to do a create, and the alarm is going to be alarm 0, and the alarm is going to equal 3 frames, I think. So I'll just call it that for now. We'll see what this looks like. And then I'll add my alarm 0, and basically when this is created, I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh yeah, so I'm going to need the sound for pickaxe. And then when this is created, or when this alarm happens, oh no, that's not what I want. I don't want sound here. I want the sound on the create. Okay, and then here I just want to destroy this. So basically what it's going to do is it's going to show this pickaxe really quick, and it's going to destroy the pickaxe 3 frames later, making it disappear. So then every time I click the button, it's going to create a new one, pretty much is the code I'll put on the player, and then basically it should hit that block, and I'll have to build a collision on that block. So what I want to see, though, is I added some sounds, and I don't remember if I made pickaxe sound. I'm looking really quick. Gaming audio. Oh, it's on downloads, that's why. Duh. Block break, wave. No. Wood hit. Collect. Hit dirt is probably... let's see what hit dirt sounds like. So I'm going to open up some audio software here, because I want to add audio while I'm going. Sorry, the audio is... Let's just see if it's coming through here. Should. I can't tell if you're hearing it or not, but... It sounds more like something being hit by the pickaxe. So I'm going to save this as an MP3 and like basically the worst possible settings. The smaller the file, the better when it comes to audio. So I don't want to waste the space. But that is, I mean, that's good, but it's not the swing sound that I really wanted. Let's see, what is this one? I got a whole bunch of files here that I'm just off screen. Now that one is to hit wood. And I made all these sounds basically myself. Menu open, rock hit, hit hurt. Well, let's see what that one is. Oh, that kind of sounds like a swing. It's good enough for me. File, save as. I'm just going to call it MP3 Pro. Make sure it's 96 kilobytes. Save it. Yeah, sure, whatever that's telling me. I don't know if you guys are like me, but every time a warning pops up, I'm like, yeah, sure, I believe it. Okay. Then sometimes I make a total mistake, and then it is not what I wanted to do. But, alright, so add another sound here, and I'm going to call this sound swing. Swing away, Merle. Biggest loophole in a movie ever, Signs by M. Night Shyamalan. If the aliens are allergic to water, why'd they come to Earth? Should go to Mars or something, you know, like... it just didn't make any sense. It's a good movie, though. I like me some Shyamalan. Shyamalama-lama. Alright. What did I just call this? I called it Hit Hurt MP3. Alright, so, and I copied this, I duplicated this because it's easier for these settings. I basically compressed, I always have it compressed and streamed. It makes it the smallest. It's mono, I want it 8-bit, and I want it like 96 bit rate, so pretty low bit rate. I guess I could go lower, but I don't know. Whatever. Alright, so, and I think it's probably going to need to be a 0.5. Cool. Groovy potatoes. Alright, so now that I got that audio added, I can basically add the audio code to every time that this left pickaxe is created, it's going to play this sound. And so I have a couple little tricks now that I can make it play at a different pitch each time it's swung, or I could just have it the same pitch. So I actually want to play it at a different pitch each time. So I'm going to put the sound index here, and I want sound swing and the pitch. So now this is where I want it to be random. So each time I play this sound, I don't want it to just sound like the same thing. So I use a random range of 1 to 2, and the random range 1 would be the sound that we just heard. So I think I want it to start at that, but I also want it to maybe get a little bit higher. So basically it's going to choose a sound pitch of that sound between 1, which is its normal sound, and 1.2, which is a little higher. And so then I'm also going to then want to play this song. So audio play sound. Sound ID is sound swing. Priority is 20. That's just the priority if there's a billion sounds going on and you have a priority of 1 and a priority of 2. The priority of 2 will play sooner, I think. I don't know. I haven't really messed with it. I've never really had a game that had so much going on that I needed to even care about the priority. So I usually just set it at 20. Again, my janky GameDEV. I love it. That's what I'm here for. That's why I'm streaming, so that everyone can see just how strange I am, and that I like to drink coffee, because coffee is good for you. I highly recommend you get some if you don't have some right now. So good. Alright, so loop is false. I don't want this thing to play over and over and over again. I just want it to play once with this weird random pitch sound deal. Okay, so now I got the left pickaxe, and I know that it's going to appear, and it's going to set an alarm for 3 frames. It's going to play this sound, and then it's going to destroy it. So basically it's just going to appear, play sound, and go away. It's exactly what I want it to do, and that's for aiming left. So now all I have to do is duplicate this item, and I'm just going to call it X right. And I just choose the different sprite. So under player, X right. And I want it to do the same thing. I want it to create this, play that same sound, 3 frames later, destroy itself. Alright, so that's cool. I got all that, but what's it going to do? Well, I need to make some cool stuff here in this player code, which I was working on yesterday. And so I'll come down to the bottom here. There's these animations, but I'm going to go above the animations, and I'm going to call this way out here. I'm going to call it pickaxe. Sure. Okay, so now I want to actually do something with this pickaxe. So I'm going to say that, what am I going to say? Yeah, so I know what I'm doing here, I swear. So if keyboard, oh wait. If mouse check button pressed, I want mouse button left. Alright, so left mouse button is going to be my my mining, or my pickaxe, and I need to call out some other stuff. So if my left mouse button is pressed and my global variable of aim equals 0, which is determined to be left, 1 is right, this is going to actually create the instance of that left pickaxe, because it's aim 0, it's equaling 1, and above here, if I hit the A key, it's actually setting this global aim. So when I click the A key, it knows I'm left, and then if I click the D key, it knows I'm right by setting that global aim variable. So find my spot again here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I need to do. I'm trying to decide, should I make walking stop? I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to go that far into it. Like I said, this is very simple. Alright, so now basically, if I press that button and I'm aiming left, I want to create an instance layer, And if I remember correctly, if I go look at my left walk, I'll just look at. And I think at some point I'm probably going to change my idle to be a left and a right idle as well, just because it's going to look weird for this guy to be standing there and then swing a pickaxe. What I need to do here is go. I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. So basically, no. I don't know what I was going to show you. I'm just going back to my code. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to show you. So on this, the area that I'm looking at for this object is this spawn area. I need to figure out what it's called because it doesn't really say, but there's a spot that you can set here, and that's basically the coordinates of this character. And I always have it down here at the bottom in the middle, and like I said yesterday, that's 13 pixels across so that I have a true middle. People think I'm crazy for using an odd number of pixels, but that's the reason. I want a true middle. And so basically I'm going to tell it to create, because this is my player, right? Like every one of these player sprites has this same spot. Like it doesn't move, it doesn't change. If you do move it or have it change, it's not good. It will be super weird. But what I want to do is I'm going to create this pickaxe here, but this sprite, this is the area that I'm trying to create it at. And if you look at this left pickaxe, it's in the middle right here. So it's middle center of this sprite. So I have to keep that in mind is when I'm setting where I'm creating this sprite. So, and it'll be kind of weird if I fall down and click this, the pickaxe will stay for a second. But 3 frames is pretty fast. We probably won't see it. So back to the code. I'm going to create this instance layer at X. And I want it to be, so first is I have to tell it where it's going to go on the X axis. So because I'm in the player code, this is the player X that we're talking about. So if I just left it as X, it'd be on that spot that I just showed you at the bottom in the middle of the 13 pixels. But I don't want it there. I want it to be a little bit to the left. So I actually want it to be negative 6 pixels to the left of that. It's still going to put it like kind of in the ground, so that's why I get to my y-axis. Now the y-axis, I want it to be up 6 pixels, or maybe more, so that it's kind of up by this guy's hand. But it might break more pixels than or more blocks than I want it to break. So I kind of have to decide: do I want it to break the block in front of him and above him, or do I just want it to break the block to his left? And I feel like I just want it to break the block to his left. So I'm thinking that this sprite might be too big. But we'll look at it. Alright, so I'm just going to say that I want it to also be y minus, and we'll just try 6. That's going to put it like kind of right in the middle. Then I have to tell it what layer I want it to be on. So right now it's on player is where it would be. I think I would want it to be in front of the player. I've set these up myself. Collect is for collecting things. Player is where I have the player. Ground is kind of, I explained some of these yesterday, but like alive is something for the optimization. It's constantly going to keep that alive, so I keep all my globals in there because it's something that just makes this instance alive constantly. So what I want to do is I want to actually put that on the front. The front is what I want, because I don't want it to appear on the level that you would collect the dirt, and I don't want it to appear on the player level. I want it to be in front of him. So I'm actually going to tell this code here that I want it to go in front, on the front layer. And then from there, just what object is it? It's object pickaxe left is what we're doing. Alright, so as simple as possible, basically, if I press the left mouse button and I have walked left, it's going to play that thing. So let's check it out. Is it going to work? Usually does, kind of. So let's see. Right. Okay, walk left. There it is. Alright. Good job. Now it doesn't do anything else than that, and if I walk right and click it, there's just nothing. And of course he's not swinging. Now I could decide that I don't want him to walk, that I would stop him from walking this way if he swings, but I don't think that I care. Oh yeah, of course. I'm clicking it. These blocks have it to where if I click them, they break. So I'm not actually breaking it with the pickaxe. What we need to do is then program the pickaxe to break that. But I feel like maybe it should go up, but that would then, if I raise the pickaxe, it would then be on that block above there, which would break both of these. I don't know if I want that. So, very simple little thing here, but that's basically what this code does. So I think I want, I don't think I want him to go back to this idle. I think I truly do want an idle left and an idle right, but I think I'll leave this idle here so that it can be when your player first starts, that's what it's just sitting in that animation until you press something. So I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to go in here, and I think this is probably my best left. I'll just copy this, and then I'll go into idle left, and I'll click this, and look at that. There he is, idle left. Okay, so now I made this left idle thing. Now I just need to make a right idle, and it should have the same collision, and it'll have the same point there that it's gonna spawn point. So idle left, save that name. Duplicate. Right. Yes. Go in here, mirror the frames, and now I have my idle right. And it shouldn't be the same collision and everything. Alright. I duplicate that stuff so that it keeps all those collisions and everything the same. Of course, I could just create a whole bunch of new sprites and then add the collisions and the point of spawn individually, but then, you know, it would just be more work. But a lot of people would also tell me that I could use code and I don't need these left and rights, which is fine. I know I could get away with that, but it's just my weird way of doing stuff. So I feel like I want to take these sprites though, and I'm curious to see what happens if I make it like 9. Apply. What does it look like? Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that. I have the saved, the original saved image, so I don't need that. I just need to go over here to size, 9, apply, there. So now I should see the size 9. Yes. That's a little tough to see. Now it's a little farther out than I probably need it to be. And I also need to tell the player code to stop going back to idle. So I have this code here that is, if no key is pressed, then go to idle. Or, well, to say walking is false, right? So if you stop pressing any key, he's not walking. Then down here in the animations, I have these animations, and so I call out the sprites basically. And so if walking is false, basically it's changing to this idle. I don't want it to do that anymore. Now I want to call out a nested. Basically, I want to nest some code here. So if my global aim is 0, we already know that means that it's going to be left. So I'm going to make it say left, and I'm going to close that nested statement. So basically I can copy this and put in my right, which would be 1, change my sprite index, and I can save. And now what will happen is when I walk to the left and I let go of all buttons, it'll stop walking, and then if I walk to the right, it'll stop walking. And he doesn't ever go back to that weird kind of standing there like he's a macho man guy wearing a tap out shirt or something. Tap out. Coffee, by the way, is very much needed. Alright, so back to the player. I want to go back to this. Here's the jump, no key, right. Wait, here's the pickaxe. Alright, so it was a little bit too far out now that I shrunk that. I'm going to go, I'll go 2 pixels back, 4 pixels back. It seemed like it was a pretty decent height, but I kind of want to make it up another. And so, what I can do here is, I kind of put this here. I realized I should probably nest this as well. So, if global aim is 0, it means that I'm aiming left, and I can delete this here. So now it's literally if I just press this left mouse button, and what I need to do here is pretty much say what's going to happen if I'm aiming right. And so I want to create the right pickaxe, of course, so that's, now I got left and my right, but this is going to differ. So really I should just be able to do these as pluses because they would be the other way, but I don't want the Y to go down because plus Y is down. So I'll keep the Y the same, I want it the same height, but instead I want it on the other side of the player. So this one will be X minus is to the left and X plus is to the right. So now I should be able to swing left and right. So let's see. Yeah. All right. Groovy. Okay. So now what we need to do is probably maybe add some dirt blocks here. Do not want this on. I haven't decided how I'm gonna, dig down yet, so I'll have to figure all that out. But we definitely want to be able to dig sideways here. Alright. And I'll put just another one here just in case I want to dig to the right. So now we basically need to make a code on this dirt block, because I want that pickaxe to break the dirt block. So I definitely don't need the left pressed to break the blocks anymore. This was just so that I could test the block breaking. I'm just going to delete this portion of the code. And so now I know that this is set to global block easy, and if I go down to my global code, global block easy is 10. So I know that it shows up for 3 seconds, or three frames. So if I put that it does 1 damage, this pickaxe, that would be every time I swung it, it should take 3 damage. So it should take 4 hits to break this block, because 3 would be 9, and then the additional 1 point would be the 4th hit. So that's my plan to see where it's at. Part of making games is balancing things, right? So I initially just kind of set it up as whatever I want it to be or think that it should be, and then usually I come back through and change it because it was horrible. It's pretty much how art goes. You don't like anything that you make, and that's just fine. I still release it anyways, even if I don't like it. But the games that I do love that I've made, they're always the good ones, right? Anyways, so I'm just gonna go into this dirt block because it's really the dirt block that needs to know that the pickaxe has hit it. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna add a collision. So if this block collides with the left, I want block HP to equal the current block HP minus 1. Alright, so that means that every time that this pickaxe hits this dirt block, it's going to subtract 1 point. And we know that we actually have this, where is it? The pickaxe left. It is appearing here, and then 3 frames later, it is disappearing. So if my math is correct and the engine's working correct, every time I click the button, 3 points should be removed because it's 3 frames here, 1 point per frame. And we shall see. So, back to the dirt. I have another sound. Duplicate. And I have one called Dirt Hit. So I'm going to add this sound as we go. I figured I decided to create some sounds yesterday after I had streamed because I was like, man, I need to be adding sounds here. So go in here and hit dirt. Sure. Sounds fabulous. Okay, so basically now when that hits, I also want it to play this audio. Now, the little trick that took me a while to figure out is it's going to play every frame, so I don't want that. I just want, if it collides once, to play that and then not play it again. So I do this little trick of if not, that's an exclamation point, is not. If not, audio is playing. So this basically means if this sound is not playing, which would be sound dirt hit. So if this sound is not playing, then I do this stuff. So I want to definitely use the pitch because I want every time to hit to sound just a little different, right? So on the sound, dirt hit, and use the random range. Again, not iRandom, random range. And this time I want it to be from like a 0.8 to 1.2. Let's just call it that. You know, it sounded a little high pitched to me just in general. So I'm actually going to make it 1.1, so higher than its natural tone always. So first it sets the pitch, and then I'm going to play the sound, which is sound dirt hit, and I'll just set the priority of 20, and I do not want it to loop or repeat. Alright, so now every time this pickaxe left hits this dirt block, it's going to take off 1 point of the block's HP every frame, and it's going to play this sound. So basically I can copy this, grab another collision, player, right there. So now no matter what way I'm aiming, or which one of these left or right pickaxes shows, it should basically hit both sides. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not able to say things today for some reason. I think this is a long day. I did too much already today. Stupid day job, right? Always getting in the way. Alright, so. Oh, the moment of truth. There, 4 times. Alright. Yeah, chop through that dirt. And then I should be able to jump and hit stuff if I can time it right. I can't. I suck. There. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for down. Gotta make sure the right works. Yeah, alright. Man, it's almost like a video game or something. But gotta figure that out. That's goofy. Maybe S will maybe he'll get down and dig or something. Oh, I don't want that either. I don't want him to be able to jump under here. I don't like that. If he's underneath here, he shouldn't be able to jump. That looks stupid. All right, so let's fix that. My OCD. So where's the jumping code? Places. Jump cool is less than 20, and then there's 2 points above him. I'm gonna say 3 points above him, then these jumps will happen. So that should fix that jumping issue. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, I'll test that jumping issue right now though. Why not? So I hope everybody's having a good day. What is it, Thursday? It's Thursday for me. I don't know if it's Thursday for everybody else, but I'm having a fantastic Thursday. And the reason I'm having a fantastic Thursday is because tomorrow is Friday, and that means that it's the end of my work week. And I love that. And see, I can't jump. I'm hitting jump. Yay, I fixed it. It's fun. Yeah, you go. You go, Glen Coco. Alright. Cool. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is when... I'm going to add some more effects here. When this pickaxe hits the rock, it should like kind of do something, right? So I'm going to add a little effects here. Just create a sprite, and I'm going to call this pickaxe hit. Okay, so I don't think I need it to be 13, so I'm just going to make it 9. That's the size of the pickaxe. Okay, and I want this one to be spawned in the middle, center. And basically, I'm trying to think. Gray? I'm going to do gray. And I'm going to set the transparency to like 60. And I always change this to the transparency so I can see it later. Frame 1. Frame 2. Frame 3. Frame 4. When does it get rid of them? Come on. Nope. Alright, so I think I'll just do a simple plus explosion type thing. It's always a good go-to. Maybe I'll add a 4th one here, and then this one. And a couple of these just to see how it looks. Alright, that's pretty cool. I just don't think I need the last ones. I think it gets too big. It could probably just be this. Yeah, something along those lines. Within here, something. Let's let's see, do I want another? I'm going to do one that's like 30 here. Not 301. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? So now this one's just kind of lighter. I can cheat a little bit there, and maybe a couple little schnitzels on the outside there. Yeah, that's all right. Okay. So basically, now I have 7 frames, so that's a total of 6. All right. So there's my pickaxe hit. Every time it hits the pickaxe hits something, I'm gonna basically program it to appear there. But I want to duplicate this, and I duplicate a lot of this stuff just so that I can save myself coding time. So these are kind of already effects, and so they kind of already have some of the stuff that I want on here. Oh, block break sound. I don't think that's needed. And step. So if image equals 6, there was 7, that's exactly the right amount, and image destroyed. So basically if I create this, it's going to play this one time, and then it'll be gone. So that's just fantastic, and I'll delete this unneeded event. Alright, so I can go back to this dirt block because I feel like this is where that collision takes place. This is where I want to create this. So if this collides with that, oh, you know, before I do that though, where there's a code on the dirt that I want. There. I want this image angle one because every time that this thing plays, I don't want it to be this same animation. I want it to rotate in a circle between 0 degrees and 200 degrees, so quite a bit. And each time it'll just do that once on the create. Okay, so that should finalize that. Back to the dirt block, and so I want to create. Wait, this is on. Oh yeah, so when the pickaxe hits the block, I also want to create another layer, and that layer is going to be, this is for the pickaxe now, so I need to like, I need to decide. So this is when the pickaxe hits it, but I want to call out the pickaxe. So I want to create this at pickaxe right dot x, and I think from the middle I want it to be +2, and then I want object pickaxe right dot y, and I believe I want it to be minus, gosh, 2 or 3. I'm gonna try 3. And again, choose which layer it needs to appear on. I'm gonna make it appear in front. Let's see if that works. Same one as the pickaxe, but it's happening afterwards, so it should put it in front of it. And I want to create object pickaxe hit. So now I can basically copy this code, because I know that I also want it to do that if it's to the left or whatever, and all I have to do is come in here and change it to the left sprite that it's accessing, and it should be good. And away we go. And more coffee I drink. Yeah, editing sprites inside here it's pretty handy. I kind of have mentioned this before, but like I usually use paint.net because it just has more features. But then like if I have to make quick little edits, like after I've imported it or need to make changes or anything like that, it works. Then you can also, like, of course, change the you can change the images and stuff within code as well, which helps. Like I put on for instance, this image angle, every time that one of these dirts is created, it's like rotating the image for me, so it makes it pretty easy. I'm sure other engines do it. I'm just a total noob, so I don't know. I don't know too much about other engines. But let's see if this thing works. Oh, it does, but it's on my head, so I don't want it there. Let's see what the right one does. So that one's pretty close. I think I just need to adjust the plus and minus. Oh yeah, that's what happened. So on the dirt and on the pickaxe left, it worked pretty good. I feel like it needed to be plus or minus 2. It was a little too high. But then on this one, I just pasted the code, and it needs to be the opposite. It needs to be, so for right, it needs to be minus, and no, the Y would stay the same. Okay, so that should work. Load, game, load. That's still a little off. Okay, so I want it a little more the other way. So I think I want this to be 4. And I want this to be 4. Because the height was pretty good, and I enjoyed that. I just need to make sure that it looks like it's getting hit. Alright. Man, am I going backwards? I think I'm going the wrong way in my head. I'm coding this thing the incorrect way. So if this is the left pickaxe, I want it to be minus 4. That's where the mistake is. And if it's the right pickaxe, I want it to be plus. Plus is right. I get those mixed up all the time. My brain hurts on that stuff. Like, hey, it's fine. Left, right. Don't need to know that stuff. Alright. Yeah. Alright, let's see if it, that's pretty good. Good enough for government work. I think I want it to move over. I think 4 is too many. I think 3 is enough, and I think it needs to come down another one. Oh, picky, picky. So, oh, that one's 2. This one's 2. So I'm going to go 1. I'm just going to make it go up 1. And I feel like this needs to be 3. And we change some numbers and try again. So, story of my life. Story of my life. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Yeah. I tell you, I can't. It's like, I know this is like the important stuff, the player stuff. I just want to make trees for some reason. I just want to add grass and I just want to make trees. That's like all I want to do. Alright. That's pretty cool that I can chop this up. It's got some sound effects, but I can't chop down. Grrr, and it looks super epic. And then I can just jump off the world. Okay. So that's good. I implemented some pickaxe, and I got some sound effects in there, and you can break blocks. I wonder if I could set a variable and have the pickaxe. That would be so weird to have the pickaxe upside down. No, just like aiming down, and I mean, I could set a variable that if you press the S key, hello there, Skimitard, howdy. I'm probably just completely breaking your name, but thanks for joining and hanging out. So I'm just trying to figure out how to dig down. I don't really know, but the main point to all this is that I always start off with like one, the player, of course, and one thing I'm gonna break. In this case, this game, I'm breaking blocks. I mean, you could be farming something, or you could be doing something like that, I try to stick to one of those, because of course I'm not just going to have dirt in this game, right? I plan in GeOLIA is the name of this game that I'm working on, I guess, here in the stream. I plan to have a geology kind of theme to it. I have like a list of over 100 different types of rocks, and that's kind of the plan here. Is I want to make something that's small and a pixel game that you can kind of explore, but you want to find and discover rocks, and maybe combine them or sell them. I'm not really sure where I'm going with it, but just for your brain, the world width is 104,000 pixels wide by a height of 52,000 pixels. So here's my little guy. Each one of these squares is 13 pixels, and this is my world that I want to create. So it's pretty big. Like, I plan to be able to dig pretty deep and have a pretty in-depth optimization system that allows me to do so. But before I really get into optimizing and world generation and things of that nature, I really got to have the core structure down here. And that's what I'm doing. I'm getting this player where he needs to be, and now he can hit a block, and I got to figure out how to dig down, and then maybe, you know, the surface of the ground is going to be a whole separate thing to kind of code, because we're going to want grass on it, and we're going to want then of course grass to grow on top of the grass block, and then trees and all that fun stuff. You got to have that. If you don't have that in a game, I mean, that's what people play games for, is a little world, right? And then of course you'll dig down and keep digging down and keep digging down and keep digging down and keep digging down. I'm trying to figure out like lava and this and that. And liquid's really tough. I don't know if I'm gonna try to dig into liquid. But maybe, I don't know. It's just, I'm just messing around here, right? Like, I have so many projects that I'm working on that I just figured I was like, hey, I have a Twitch. I'm just going to stream and make a weird little game. So here I am. All right, so I'm trying to think, again, of how to dig down. Now, I know I could implement something to where if I hit the S key, it puts it in a global variable state of like down or something along those lines, and then when I click the mouse button within here, it would be, I already have this, you know, if I click this mouse button, if global aim is this, I could have another nested code that says if pressing S or if down, then, you know, create a pickaxe down, and maybe that's just what I do. So, I mean, that's what my brain is thinking, so away I go. I'm going to take these colors. I'm going to make a new world. Let's see here. I'm going to, so now I want to follow the same process that I was taking. I'm going to copy this. Nope, I'm on the wrong thing. So I want this color, but I want this here, and I need my pixels. Alright, something along those lines. And down. Okay. Did I go to that 1 pixel away? Yes, I did. Alright, so next I need the darker color. And I'll just say it's on this side. How about that? Perfect. And then I need the lighter color. Give it to me now. Give it to me now. That is just such a magical pickaxe. I'm so glad that no games have a pickaxe so far. I think I'm the first, right? Yeah, so can Game Maker handle huge rooms like that? I thought even empty rooms lag when they are too big in Game Maker. That's a good question. It can. You have to basically optimize the game to only be loading objects close to you. And then when you move, then it's loading just those objects around you. Like, kind of like how they figured out how to make Doom back in the day. That, like, 2 pixels outside of your screen is absolutely nothing. It's the only way that game could run. But then as soon as you turn that direction, then the game is every frame loading those screens. So if I took this huge map, right, and I filled it full of massive objects, 13 pixel objects, then yeah, you would have a huge issue with lag extremely. And even with a code like that, it could have issues. For instance, Evidence of Life, the first one, has a really long load time and a really long, like when you load a game, so the initial game takes forever to load, almost a minute, and then when you come back to a saved game and load it, it's good 30 seconds to load that, and that's because I hadn't optimized it enough yet. And basically, I have this code in place already on this player. The way that it works, and I give away my secrets. It's not a secret, right? It's just a built-in plugin. I have a variable that's counting down. It's called global opti because it's gangsta, and that counts down from I think 80 in this game because 60 frames is 1 second, so a little over 1 second. So every second and every 1.2 seconds, basically, this code is running. And what it's doing is it's looking at my camera height. And my camera height is this white area. So it's viewing this, it's using that white area. That is what these camera get view X, Y height width is. And so I give it a variable of CX, CY, CW, CH. And then down here, this is the important piece. Within this region that I'm calling out in pixels, I'm deactivating everything outside of it. So if you look here, inside is false, and not me is false. So it's basically saying that it's outside of this region, and it is including me. So it's including the player. This is on the player code. And so basically what it's doing is every time this is running, it's making everything active. It's looking at my camera, and it's making everything outside of this, which is just about the same size as my white area here. So it's like a square outside of it, right? So that things are being loaded outside and not flashing in. And then it's bringing these back to life. Like I was talking about, I have this instance layer of alive over here. That's anything that I put in there will always stay alive. So it's always going to activate it, and it's not going to deactivate alive. Because this alive code is actually right here. So this is my global variables. If I walked way over here as the player, I'm definitely far enough away from this, it would make all my inventory and all my stuff stop working, basically. And that would be bad. So what this does is it brings that alive instance. I can put anything on this instance right here, and it will keep it alive, hence running all of my code and such. As well as the GUI. I'll get into that later. I don't have any GUI stuff, so there's no user interface. But if you didn't do this and you had all sorts of GUIs or user stuff, health bars and things of that nature, if you walked 1,000 pixels away, well, now your health bar would disappear because this code would actually deactivate that section. I don't know if that makes any sense. The one for Evidence of Life, after these, there's about 100 objects that it also keeps alive because they are doing things. But what I did in Evidence of Life to make it smoother, because at first it was loading 40,000 pixel wide, basically trying to load all those objects first and then running this deactivation code. What I did literally was, for the procedural generation, I didn't make it procedurally generate until the player was close to it. So initially it was only attempting to load a very small 1,000 pixels from the player chunk of objects. And so now the load in version 2.0 that I'm going to release, it's literally instant. Like you hit play game and it just pops it right up. Because it is kind of like loading one little square like this to start the game. And then when you walk on, you'll do that. So this one's going to be more of a challenge because I have to figure out a way to be 50,000 pixels away from something and make it work. But I think I can do it numerically to where, like, if I'm anything that's 60,000 pixels away will load, and then everything else will take that time. So until you walk left or right, it won't be loading this world. But I mean, I'll get to that when I get to that. That's far down the road. First, I just got to make this guy dig straight down. That's like everything is baby steps in video games, right? Like, but that kind of stuff excites me, as you can tell. I just start rambling on and on about it because it's super exciting. It's actually exciting that I figured out what it means, because that's the hard part. Like, I mean, I know that this engine has like it's pretty simple coding, and like it's got some built-in variables which are great, but you have to know what they do. And honestly, I learned from that. I worked with this guy Alan from Australia. He did all the art on that game, and we just kept talking. And I think he saw me struggle through a lot of that optimization stuff, and it was brutal. Like, I would get it to where like the game would just like not run, and then I just want to give up, right? Like, I was so painful, but I'm so glad that I stuck with it, so that I could learn, right? Like, it's all about learning. Anyhow, I got my downward pickaxe done. Not sure if I like how thick it is. I'm sure it'll be fine. Alright, so file save as. Let's call this PNG pickaxe DOWN. Alright, load. Come on, flatten all the way. Okay. So back here, I need to go up to the sprites, and I will create a sprite, and I'm just going to call this sprite. Come on. Pickaxe down. Totally down. And so, following the same order of stuff here. Player, pickaxe down. I added this. I thought it was cool. It was neato. I made this the center. I added a square around it, which was automatic collision. But then the next step was I changed it to 9 because it was too big. So then this will give it the same kind of look and feel as the other pickaxe, and it's also the same size because I didn't want 13. Alright, and this is middle center. Is it not? I guess it's just showing it. Okay. So that should be good. What I need to do now is tell the system, or give the system something to say, hey, this guy's aiming down, right? So for the player code here, I'm going to add a global variable of is down. Something that simple that I can't spell. And currently it's false. But what we're going to do is if you press the S key, it's going to be true. But then as soon as you press the A or the D key, it's got to be false, because then we want to pickaxe the other direction. So I also need to come here and duplicate this object and make a pickaxe down object. And the pickaxe down object is, the reason I duplicate it is it's identical. Like, all the code here just already works. So it's going to show up for 3, it's going to play the random swing sound, it's going to destroy itself. And like I said, that's the power of duplication. Like, it's done now. Alright, so now all I got to do is program this guy to do what I want it to do. So here's A, S, D, and W is jump, and here's the wall climb and in water, and the pickaxe. I think I'll just include it here, just even though it's not really down. Sorry, I need more coffee. It's super important. So if keyboard and keyboard check pressed. And we are going to say we want an ORD, and I believe the code is, yeah, closed and parentheses, and we're going to do the S key. Alright, is it 3? No, it's only 2. So now if you press S, a couple things have to happen. And this is where we can get some bugs if we start being sloppy, which of course I'm just gonna be, and then I'll fix the bugs later. Basically, I know that I want down is down to equal true. Okay, so I know that I want it to do that. So now if I go into the game and press S, it's gonna know that is down equals true. So what I have to do here now is I have to actually call out that I don't want these original ones that I made to be if it's down. So now on my left and right pickaxes, it's only going to happen if down is false. So it's only going to happen if my global aim is 0 and my if down is false. Alright, so I'm just going to code that in there. And so now those should not happen once I press S. But I have to come up here to the D key, and I have to come up here and type is down, spell right, is down is false, because I want to be able to press S and be aiming down, and then I want to be able to press right. This would be D, so this would be right, and it would change that to false, because now you're going to be walking is true. So I'm basically just setting some booleans, I believe they are called. And so now if I press A or D, I'm not going to be down. And if I press the S key, I am going to be down. What I think that I want to do, though, is I think that I want to come up here and duplicate this sprite. And I'm going to call it player down. I seriously cannot type today. I mean, not asking out the tool man. I can't type any day, but okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and chop this guy up. Just gonna take some of you over here, and I'm gonna move this down here. Let's see here. Sure, that's perfect. So basically I just want him to crouch down, and that's basically it. So now he's going to get down on his knees, I guess that is, and he's going to chop away. So I'm going to put him down here. And he's always going to turn left or right. I mean, I could go, I guess I could call this left and right. Duplicate. Right. Come in here and mirror it. There we are. Okay. So back to our player. If you press down and global aim is 0. Oh, let's see. I think I'm trying to do the animation instead here. So just need to copy this. If global is down, and these are here. Then I just want this to be down right and down left. Go aim down. Okay, so I don't need to call out the left and right here. Okay, so basically it's setting it to true. I'm just wondering if I should... Okay, so it's gonna walk here. I'm curious what this does now, just without a pickaxe, if I got the crouch working. Yeah. And I can't click either. Do you want to say something to everybody? Oh, you want to play Minecraft? Hey, me too. Go ask your brother for help. Sorry, guys. My 5-year-old's like, I want to play Minecraft. I'm like, hey, me too. You gotta go ask your brother, though. That's what you gotta do. Your brother says no. Well. Alright, so, and I got... Oh, that's kind of weird. Okay, so if I hold S down, then it is, he keeps walking, see that? So I'm holding S and I'm hitting D, holding S and I'm hitting A. And even if I jump, it's... Alright. So, I think that I can probably fix that issue by adding an AND statement. And is walking equals false. So this only works if S is down and is walking is false. So let's see if that fixes that weird walking issue. Nope, it does not. Okay, so it probably deals with the no key. So I use this call out, it's VK no key, which is kind of a built-in variable that happens here. So basically, is walking is false. S is down. Didn't I say that it was false? Maybe I just need to do this.
Why is there a cat in space with a hot dog and a donut?
I do not know why there is a cat in space with a hot dog and a donut on my calendar. Probably because I quite possibly have one of the coolest calendars that has ever been made.
And there's a kitty and a hot dog bun with mustard and ketchup.
Yes, there is. Alright, so basically this way I changed it to if I'm pressing S, walking is false. So it basically shouldn't walk whatsoever now if I press the S key. So it should like disable walking. I'm not really sure what's going to happen yet. We'll see. Nope, still happening. You know, I feel like I've seen this before. Okay, so yay, bugs are fun. Okay, so
Also, the cat with the bun and mustard and ketchup gets a crown.
that is true. That is the weirdest calendar of cats that are hot dogs with mustard and ketchup on them. I enjoy it. So I just wonder... trying to think of what I did before to avoid that issue. I don't think that it's really gonna matter if I have this down. I don't think it's gonna have his jumping. I don't think this is gonna matter, but it wouldn't be the first time that I was unsure if something was gonna fix it, and then it did. Because it's dealing with having the S key down. No, it's still not fixed. Okay, so let's see. And is jumping is false. Or is down, I mean, is false. I'm trying to see if adding a variable on the walk code for the A and the D would stop it. Because that will stop it from saying that it is walking. Or at least it should, in my mind. We'll see, though. Haha. Fixed. You can jump while... I can't walk that way. That's epic. It's the best no-legged guy jumping ever. I can't feel my legs. Alright, so what the hell is up with that? Okay, so now I'm crouching and something is super weird. So down, I should not be able to jump. If is jumping is false. Yeah, and also I should not be able to jump if you are down. It should not happen. Bam. So that should fix that problem. Alright. Ah, it's still letting me. That's weird. Oh, so much fun to break bricks. Ah, it's so much fun. I gotta stop. Okay, what am I doing here? So, oh, this is just some jump cool garbage. Okay, that's why. Okay, goodbye. So, if jump cool is less than 25 and this is here, then this jumping actually takes place. So this is where the actual jumping takes place. I should probably mark this as where you jump. So I keep missing that because of this stupid in-water thing. There, that's a little clearer as to what is happening. Alright, no more no-legged jumping, please. Alright. And I can't walk back and forth. Okay. Alright, so that's cool, man. He's ready. He's ready to chop some stuff. Now I'm ready to chop down. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna chop down. So let's see here. If keyboard S is pressed here. Okay, so if mouse button is pressed, I think it's gonna think I'm gonna have to like literally call out that if I'll copy this here. All right, so now I'm basically saying if the system's gonna check to see if it's released the S key, and I just need to change it to false, because I want you to be able to kneel and then stand up, and then it needs to say false when I stand up, or else I could just press S to kneel, let go of S, and it would still, the system would still think that it was is down, and so then if I press the left mouse button, it would throw the pickaxe down still, and I only want the pickaxe to go down if you're crouched. So I'm trying to achieve here. Okay, so and is down is false. Okay, so I basically need to copy this. So if I'm left and is down is true, then it doesn't actually matter which. No. Okay, so I just need it to say if is down is true, because there's no left and right pickaxes. It's literally just down. And so I just need the D version of this, right? D, yeah. Okay, so front. So this one changes a little bit though. I want it to be right in the middle. So I don't want it, oops. I don't want it left or right, so I'm just gonna leave it X. And then I want this to be plus, 3? Let's try 3. All right. Let's see if I made it work while I drink some coffee. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, so cool. But it needs to be up more. 3 down is too much. So cheesy. I love it. All right. I feel like I should change this. It's too thick. It's so cheesy. Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm just gonna go with this approach here, and I think that I'm gonna like take this lighter gray, call it a day. Okay, so my pickaxe is now changed, but I need to go back into my, I'm like literally laughing at myself. I need to go back in here, and I want this to be literally X and Y. Is that what I want? X, Y. Let's try it. Sorry, writing some people back, man. It's too popular. I started the game, didn't I? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. All right. All right. It's like digging down, digging sideways. Yeah, that's epic. I almost feel like it's too light, though. I don't know. Like, I can't really see the pickaxe on the blue, but I don't know if this is like a final background color or what. Like I could just go in here and probably change this to a lighter color. Okay, let's see if I can see if that makes it better or worse to see the pickaxe. Pretty crappy all around. I mean, you could tell that I'm chopping. Alright, so now I gotta make it chop down. I'm so excited to make this thing chop down. Basically, all I have to do, it's very simple, I have to go to the block, and I already have this chop here, right? So I know that I want it to do all the same stuff as the other pickaxe. I just need to make a collision on the dirt to the down pickaxe, and I don't need it to be here, but I feel like I probably want it to be 2 plus 2, because the little pickaxe hit needs to be farther down now. But same dirt noise and same everything, so I should be able to dig down now. Exciting. I have to dig sideways first. Oh, sweet, my first fatal error of the show. Copy. Paste. Abort. Unable to find instance for object index 2 named pickaxe right. See? Tells me what I need to know. Just trying to find this, and it could not. And now it's fixed. So that was my fatal error. I had an R instead of a D. Let's try it again. And dig down. Alright. Killer. Oh, so much fun. I just want to keep digging. Ooh, I can dance in the air now. Dance, 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 dance. Cool. That's super nifty. I'm wondering if everything looks a little too small on the screen. Like, I like that it's tiny, but I'm curious if I should maybe extend my viewport. Viewport? It's like I've been drinking or something. Alright, 512 by 288. So the actual resolution that it's showing up is 1280 by 720. So, math. I love math. They always told me in school when I was younger that I'd never be able to use a calculator. Well, ha! That's all I use these days. 256. Gosh, I don't know if it's going to divide by 3. 512 divided by 3? No. I think it might be 2... Well, let me just take a screenshot here so I can revert back. Another fantastic thing that I always do. Like, I have to do this to revert back. So this is 256, right? 512 divided by 2 is 256. And watch the 288 divided by 2 is 144. I think it's going to be too big. Or too small. And Y position. Oakley dokley. So I think I need to move my ground. I don't know. Alright, 5200. I'll just say 5200. Sure, that works. Let's see. See if this looks any better. It's just going to be bigger, right? It's going to be the same size screen that I've had. It's just going to be closer to the guy. I don't really know what to think. You can see it a little more. I don't really know. Yeah. Sweet. Alright, so guess I probably need to do the same thing to up, because I would guess that I'd want to dig up too. That's my thought. So I don't know. I don't know what I think about the bigger screen. It looks pretty cool, but I don't know. Kids' problems, man, I tell you. It's like the end of the world about Minecraft, man. But Mason won't let me play. Like, I don't care. Yeah, see, that was what I was thinking, is that down, I'm going to be able to go into the middle of what would be considered a block, and they both would break. I mean, I could avoid that, but it's just not that big of a deal. If you want to break 2 blocks, go right ahead. It's fine. Alright. I can finally get up if I'm stuck. Yeah. Cool. Super nifty. Yeah, I don't know what I think about that. I don't want to... The problem is I don't want to mess it up. Like, if I just said... So this is 256 by 140. I'm just going to take another screenshot here. If I just said it by an extra 100, 356 by 244, probably is going to be all kinds of jacked. Let's see here. Because a lot of times what happens if you don't get it right, it stretches everything all weird looking. I don't want stretched pixels. That's a little squished. Yeah, see, like... So then you gotta, like, try to make the squares right. You gotta figure it out. So it's a little wider than it is tall. So 254. And then it'll be, like, not as ridiculously small. It's still not enough. Alright. That's weird. Am I doing the wrong thing? Height? 356? Width? Doesn't make any sense. I would think that the height would make it higher, so that's not being squared. Yeah, it's making it worse. So it was at 250, 144, 244, 34. Width. Oh, it's getting closer. It's getting closer. One more, 24, 224. Viewport worked out. I think it's still, yeah, it's still a little on the non-square side. So let's see, 214. Almost closed the program. That would have been terrible. That's looking pretty good. Figured that I was going to make it to where you could jump up 2 blocks. That seemed like an ideal thing to do. I'm also trying to like make a game where like it could have controller support to where I'm not actually using my mouse for anything, so everything is button driven. Alright. Massive. Alright, so I definitely need a way to be up. Okay, so I think that I'm gonna need to duplicate this, and I'm gonna call this pickaxe up. I think it's gonna be the last one that I need to make. Image, flip, oh, rotate, and rotate. There we are. So now we have our up pickaxe. And I should be able to duplicate this and call it up. And give it the up sprite. Same difference. Swing, destroy. Alright, so now I got this up object. All I need to do is add the code for the collision. Up. And the only other thing is I know I need to do this because I got a fatal error last time. And I think that this is going to be minus, I think it's going to be a little more this time. I'm going to try 3, and it's going to show the axe hit. And now the hard part of making the player actually do it. So I already have a code that's W that is, so if you're pressing W or space, you're jumping. So I could always make W up and make space jump. It's probably a smart idea. Yeah, I probably should do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is before I try to make this change, I want to make this go up. I think I need to put pick up too. Pick up. Right. So I need a global variable, and so I already have his down, so I might as well have his up. Okay, so I've created the global variable. Go back to the player. Go here, and basically able to paste this here and just say that it's the W key instead. And instead of going down, we're going to go up. And is walking is false with the up. Okay, and so then there is no sprite for up. What we need to do is see where. Okay, so then if might as well add this now. If is up is true, then we want up to display, and there has to be, so jump, cool, so we don't want to be able to jump if up. And let's take this is up equals false. It's probably up here someplace else. So up and down, up and down, up and down. All right, so let's see if I magically made this happen. I'm guessing that I did. Hopefully I can dig up now, and hopefully it creates a cool little thing. Wait, oh, I just hit save. I always do that. Hit save, and I'm sitting here waiting for the game to load. Oh no, I don't. Object player at line 35. Ah, yes. Syntax errors. Did that solve them all? Oh, no it didn't. I had a bunch of and signs in here that I don't need. It's just fine. It's false, it's false, it's false, and save. Okay, so something's making me still jump. W, okay, so that's there. Oh yeah, I gotta remove this. Okay, so now it's just that. And if up is true, then create that. I don't know why it wasn't, I should probably just start calling out that it's false in certain places. It usually resolves things. So now if I hit S, it's going up, and then this one should be saying that it is down is false. This way, if I'm going up, I'm going up. If I'm going down, I'm going down. Right. Crazy. Oh, I bet you it's this code. Okay, so I gotta start separating these guys. Just so that my brain works. Is up. Is false. And is up is false. Okay, and then if down is true, if down is true. And so if I'm walking, it's changing both up and down to false. And if I press these down, it's turning it to false, up false. This is true. If I'm pressing up, it's changing down to false. Man, I gotta be getting close. Gots to be getting close to this player code being where I want it to be. So back and forth's fine, down's fine. Ah, perfect. Now it's working. Oh, I keep pressing W to jump, so now it's space. I liked W better, but we definitely need a way to dig up. So now I can tell that I need to go Y, and it needs to be -7, I'm guessing, somewhere in that realm. See if it, no, even more. Okay, so it needs to be up 10. Yes. Oh man, almost. Oh, so close. Oh, of course, now I have the same issue where if I hold the Y down, it's walking. Gosh, now I forget how I even, I forget how I did that. 13, I'm gonna say one above the middle. Is walking. What did I do for no key? No, that wasn't it. So if it's walking is false. Ah, yes. Okay, this is where I need these. So that resolves that weird walking problem, because it's basically saying that if I'm pressing A, it's not gonna walk left. unless I've released W or S. Something along them lines. Okay, so good. So that's done here. Alright. So now I should be able to dig up. Alright. That's fantastic. Okay, so I feel like I need to. Oh, I almost made it. I feel like I need to try to limit the amount that maybe this could be doubled. It just seems weird. So I'm gonna like change the pickaxe there, and I also find that this is not where I want that to be. But what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go into this sprite for the down. I'm gonna look at the collision and I'm gonna make it manual, and I'm gonna like crush it. I think I can get it down to 1 pixel. And do that to this as well, because it just was too simple to reach across multiple things. Now you physically can't break 2 blocks, I don't believe. And it'll still break the blocks that I want. And I feel like now this is better and squarer. And so now it just breaks that. Okay, let's try this. Right in the middle. Yeah, see? It's only going to let you break 1 now. That's great. That's what I want. Alright. Yeah, this is fun. It'd be awesome once I add the cool scrolling backgrounds and some other crap here. Okay, so I need to stop the player from walking when they hit the wall, that's for sure. Oh, if I hit up, it stops them, but I think I can do that pretty easily by going in here and stating that if is this all okay, yeah, this is animations, this is hit wall. So basically I'm going to say if place is free, or place is free at x plus 1. So literally 1 to the right. If place is not free, that's what I'm trying to say. So if the place is not free to the right, I'm going to say sprite index equals SPR idle. Oh yeah, I'm going to have to figure all the, okay, idle. So I'll do rights first. So I'm gonna also say and aim equals, oops, gotta let it do its thing. Aim equals 1. So 1 is right, sprite index equals right. So if place is not free by 1, you're not gonna walk, basically. And you're aiming right. So I need 4 of these. So I also need this to be aim 0, and this to be left, and this to be minus, and this to be minus, and this to be 0, and this to be left. So now that should stop my player. What the hell's wrong here? This is, oh, that's why I did not complete the requested information on if place is free. I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if it's gonna like look at the ground and like not let me walk now, but it's just is what it is. If it doesn't, yeah, it lets me go, and then I hit the wall. It's weird. I see. So once I reach the wall, it lets me do that, but it doesn't force it. It's weird. It should force it. Right, left. It seems like it should force it to me, but I guess that it doesn't. Is there maybe I just say is walking is false too. Maybe that will. That does. See if it stops it from walking. Nope. Cool though, I can dig it, I dig it. Weird though, that it's not basically recognizing this. So maybe I just I wonder if I just need like the is place free on the walk. Priority is on there, I would think. So this is already, it's not going to be is walking. What is the walking? Let's look at this. Pick down animation. I need more of this. There. Yeah, so it should be changing it to false here if it's not free. And I don't know why it's not doing that. I'm gonna mess with this code here and see if I can figure it out. Shrink it up to. Alright. Okay, so that should, yeah, I just have a feeling it's something else is overriding that code that I just wrote there to make it false. Yeah, it's not. But I mean, it won't do it there, so I mean that's. Oh yeah, that's another thing I gotta do. Oh, I'm not even showing my screen. So it kind of stops it. I'll call it kind of for now. The one thing I do want to make sure I call out, and I'm going to put it up here in this no key area, is if keyboard check pressed word A and D. So if both of these are pressed at the same time, is walking equals false, and is jumping equals false. Don't need here is up. And is down equals false. Let's see what that does. It's always like a science experiment every time I hit play. Alright, so A, D, A, and D. Oh man, it should stop the animation though too. Okay, so it should also sprite index equal, sure, idle left. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Whew. Oh, not minus. It's got to be equals. There we are. I don't know if this is gonna... I might have to call out the release aspect of it in each one of these codes. So I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to go up here, and if keyboard is pressed and keyboard released, D, so that's only going to happen now if that isn't pressed at the same time, and also this one would be for A. So that should resolve that. Should, maybe. No, it just fucking breaks the whole thing. Keyboard check released. Yeah, it's not gonna do it. It's fine. So if keyboard check pressed is A and keyboard check pressed D, interesting. How did this one work? I just don't think it did anything. This one, and then both just keeps you walking. Huh. What to do? Keyboard check A and keyboard check pressed. Isn't there like a different variable? Yeah, let's try this. Keyboard check variable. Okay. The last thing I get to, I've been on here a couple hours now. Try to, aha! That's it. It's the one. Alright. Can chop. Got some sound effects. Can chop down. Can chop all the directions. I can chop up. I can jump. And I can walk into a wall and not walk. And it still walks kind of there, so that's kind of janky, but and then I can like go down and I can't jump, and I can go up and I can't jump. And if I let go of those, it works. and I can, what else? Oh, if I hit both the keys, then it just sets me to right, and man, we are set. Well, it's been exciting. I got a lot done here today. I mean, it still doesn't seem like much of a game, but I'm getting pretty close here to getting probably some more of this map added. I can't wait to get to some more of these squares. Once I have all the squares together, I'm set, and basically I got all my global variables here set, so I'm already ready to make all the different difficulties of breaking blocks. For instance, this is 4, and this would be 8, and this would be an additional 4, so it'd be 12 hits for the hard block and the extra hard. It keeps going up and up. I can also decide, I should probably also decide what, before I go, I don't want to forget about this. It's on the dirt, I believe. Object dirt. So it's negativing it 1. So what I want to do is I want a global variable so that I can simply change how much damage the player does to the blocks. So I'm going to do one more global variable, and I'm going to call this block damager, and currently it just equals 1. But what this is going to allow me to do is change this variable, and pretty much when you level up your tool, I can change this variable, and it will change the damage that a block does. So this would be how I would make the pickaxe stronger. I would just change my global block damage from 1 to 10. If I did it 10, it would literally take 1 hit to kill a dirt block. So again, it's all about like balancing everything, right, and making sure that everything is cool when it's all done and it makes sense and you can level up your character and everything works out really good. I'm going to go ahead and close all my windows, and I'm going to save this. I'm going to do my normal steps so you can see what I do. I go into all of my crazy games, and I have this code here. Today is the 13th, and I will back this up. So every single day I back up my code, which I can go back to. And then I also do a quick check here that the file is still buildable. I have run into issues where I wasn't able to build anymore, and so now every single day I check that I can build the file, because I had to revert some builds and I lost hours of work, and it made me quite angry, and I got a successful build. So I'm good to go here and get everything together. It's been awesome. I've had a great time streaming this. I hope there's some people out there that they found some of this useful, maybe, and that, I don't know, if you have any questions or whatever, you can find me on Twitter at JustWallGames, or here on Twitch. Ask away. Thank you guys. Have a good one. We'll see you next time.